Hello everyone.
Hello there.
We are still busy with single words that has the ability to capture a whole concept or a total feeling or
A life principle.
a life principle. Uh, and we still focused on Japanese words because somehow the Japanese, how they express soulful living is beautiful. But when we talk about these words, it's definitely not limited to only Japanese. In the Nordic countries, you have lovely, lovely words. In future, we might have a look at those. All countries, all languages have those words. But for now, we're focusing on the Japanese ones. Last week, we spoke about yutori. And this week, you have another word for us.
So this word, and I know this is the pronunciation because it gives it to you on the screen, is Meraki. And it is doing something with total love and pure soul. It is leaving a little piece of yourself in your creative work. Meraki is doing something with total love and pure soul. It is leaving a little piece of yourself in your creative work. And I was thinking immediately, it took me to authenticity again. And I think we often speak about authenticity, but it brought up a couple of ideas. And also, I don't think it's only limited to creative work.
No.
To work or to function from a place of pure love and soul is something that you can live by and that you can do everything by, whether you're raising kids, cooking, spending time with people. And it has the impact of the energy of that you're putting into it.
Yes.
And it has an impact towards others, but also for yourself.
Yeah. So you feel good when you do anything within the spirit of Meraki.
Yeah.
You feel good, but the beauty is it has an effect on other people.
Yes. It's not just for you. So it is expressed in what you are doing.
Yes.
It leaves something of your imprint, of your authentic imprint.
Yeah. But it's strange, it didn't strike me that much in the Afrikaans recording, but listening to it now, the fact that something of yourself is deposited in this that's being done or created or is taking place, that is a positive thing. In other words, there's a certain investment of yourself. There's a certain giving of yourself in that act, and that's good. People aren't so much touched by things where you are standing aloof. In other words, where you're not involved. It doesn't have that impact as when you are involved. You are giving something of yourself.
We will look at a piece of art and you'll say it has soul.
Yes.
Or it has depth. Or,
yes.
What is the artist trying to express? And you often see it in artists' work. You see elements that is almost like a thread running through, like Vincent van Gogh that said how lovely yellow is, and you often see yellow in his work, and that was something of a love that he had, or themes that run through, or in books, people telling the same story in different ways because it's something that weighs on them. So it's a message that they want to bring across. So and all of that, and in art, I think especially to make something with meaning. You can just be making, you can just be creating. I mean, it's sort of difficult to maybe sit and knit a beanie and really put meaning into that, but you could use a color that you associate somebody with, or but to live from that place of Meraki, doing whatever you're doing with that the passion and
and authenticity.
Yeah. And I think why authenticity is so important is because it has such a high frequency, high energy value in terms of the effect that it has, the potential that it has.
And one can see it. You can see when you are busy with something and you almost forget yourself. In this process, how other people are drawn in because the energy frequency it has an effect on them.
And it's people resonate with that. I think it sort of connects with something in them, their authenticity. So there's that great experiment that they did, because energy, emotions all has a frequency, that different frequencies, and that can actually be measured by the frequencies that our bodies emit. And there's a tool called the Faraday cage. I now have that. It's somewhere there. I could not remember it before. Where this is actually like a scientific tool where you put somebody in this cage, and it then can measure these frequencies of the different emotions that somebody is having. So
and one can expect, working with frequencies, that good emotions will have high frequencies. Love,
joy, gratitude,
and then other emotions that we find really difficult, it's almost predictable that they, like anger or grief or whatever, sorrow, has a lower frequency.
So this experiment did this, and it was predictable, and they found this, that the higher energy emotions, lower energy. But then there was this disconcerting thing happening with, no matter what, the person in the cage would be telling stories about their grandmother, their childhood, difficult things, joyful things. So they were taking them through a whole range of emotions and measuring. And what was worrisome was that there was this extreme spike every now and again, and it was independent of the emotion that the person,
the type of emotion.
And it didn't make sense. So this was, they didn't know what to do with this. And then one of the researchers had a look at it, and he was looking at specifically what was being told at the moment that the spike happened.
So there were spikes in the lower emotions, lower frequency, and spikes in the higher frequency.
So and he realized that the moments when that spike happened, he actually had goosebumps in listening to this, what was being told. And what they realized is that this was actually an authentic moment where this person telling the story had a very definite, coming from that place, that deep inner authentic place, voice. And that was picked up by the researchers, but it also showed on the graph. And it was extremely high. It was, and we were discussing that, can't remember exactly, but it was many times higher than the highest emotion, like love or joy. It measured off the charts. So what they're saying is that the highest energy output that we can, as humans, can actually have is authenticity. To come from a place of authenticity. And it has tremendous potential.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And that ties in for me with this Meraki, where you're coming from that place and working as much as you can, being in that space of authenticity when you're creating.
And what is so interesting about this is that what we instinctively know and experience personally is now also validated by
Yes, that's
science.
interesting. Yeah.
How it comes into play and how it picks up and it affirms it.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful to see that. And it saddens one if you discover that there's so many things that we that act as hurdles
Yeah.
in us being authentic, trying to be perfectionistic, trying to be
What others expect of us.
yes, or whatever. But if we are who we are, and we create and live from that place, it has an impact.
Yeah, and huge potential for change.
So the long and the short, give yourself to the world. We are waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. From your deep soul place.
Yeah.
It can change people's lives. So live fully, live authentically. Keep that in the back of your mind in this week ahead. And we'll talk again next week.
Keep well, everyone.
Bye-bye.